Right, so you're telling me we have a new follower. What's his name?
Winema.
Winema.
Ish.
Or her name. Their name. Winema, welcome to the family. Thanks for joining us. So, welcome everyone to another session of the World of Horen Adventure. We will just, before we jump into our adventure, quick bits by way of just reiteration as we're going in. Please, if you like what we do, if you like today's session, stick around afterwards. We'll discuss once again what we liked ourselves, but also give us a follow, give us a subscribe, tell your friends about us, because we like you and we like that you like us. So we like to know more people. Also, as a thing to let everyone know that we will be blessed with a 5th hero next week onwards, fingers crossed, given the story situation. But our 5th hero will be Amber, who will be joining us. Now, off the top of my head, I know that she is another GM in another group. She's good quality experience. Anybody else remember any of the specifics? I know that she does something else.
She's a minis enthusiast. She has all sorts of painting minis on her Twitter. And you can follow her at Ferror D&D, which I am pasting into chat at this very moment.
Yeah. So if you like her, you'll like us. And if you like us, you'll like her. Right? That's the way it works.
It checks out.
I think that's the math. I think that's mathematically sound.
Yeah. Okay, good.
Transitive.
All right, so shout out and a welcome to Amber for joining us next week. It'll be a good story and a good character, yeah, I believe. So, our heroes. We're going to jump right into the thick of things there, okay? And I would like to invite. Well, because of the situation, I'd really like to invite Matthew to give a quick recap of his situation.
Boy.
Very quick, just where are you right now?
Where am I?
Yeah.
Depends on what time of night it is. The last the party saw me, Obi noticed some wanted posters around town. The party had just gotten back from the Citadel Haganebuto. They resolved the issues there. They went to go talk to the lockkeepers, and on their way, the eagle-eyed Tabaxi saw all these wanted posters for him for breaking and entering, an award of 1,250 gold pieces, which would be exorbitant, except it's Obi, so that's about right. And before the group noticed, he had to wash his hair and left. So since then, he's probably talking to a criminal contact or two, and probably planning to surprise the group with breakfast in the morning by sneaking in the middle of the night and surprising them with breakfast, or murdering them. Depends on what he finds out in the middle of the night.
Okay. So, all right. Great little summary there for what you're doing. If you don't already have it, go ahead and have DM's inspiration. Solomon, also, just as quick, where are you guys right now?
Well, let me get my notes. Damn, my notes are not here. But what I remember, we were headed to learn more about the greater demons that have been unleashed into the world. And as we are walking there, Cecil, my character, me, I see a bunch of wanted posters, and one of them is of our Tabaxian friend. So I kind of grabbed that one, just for later, just for a little drama later, you know. And we're actually headed into the area to learn more. Hopefully, we all learn something more today.
Hopefully. All right. You can also take DM's inspiration for that. So yes, our heroes returned to Oakwell after stopping the hag in Haganibuto. Hey, I just got that. But now, after dealing and checking in with the lawkeeper, they're on their way to the observatory. So we're actually going to jump right back in with Theo, Pelir, and Cecil about the observatory. Now, how many of you, as characters, would have reasonably been to the observatory before? Theo would.
out of been to the observatory to learn a spell or two. I am sure that I was there copying down the spell of identification. In fact.
Yep. Okay. Would Cecil have any particular reason to have visited the grandest library in the Empire?
I don't think so, because for him, the Grand Library is in his home, in his fortress. So, I don't think so.
All right. Well, the library is the observatory, and it's most notably known as the observatory because it has a large telescope still on the top of it. This huge cathedral almost looking building, very old stone building, has a big golden plated dome on the top of the central tower, which includes a telescope that points out into the sky. The party know that in dire situations, the chief lawkeepers of Oakwell are able to authorize people to utilize the observatory in magical boosting of a scrying. But the majority of the use of the observatory is as a collection of knowledge, both of spells and of just all sorts of information. Entering into the observatory on this particular occasion, you walk through the large oak wooden doors that are open almost constantly. This is one of the few buildings in the city that is open 24/7, and there are almost always someone milling about. As you step in, you don't see any desk that you check in or anything like that. You just straight into the library. There are rows and rows of shelves of books. Each bookcase is about 20 feet high, with a ladder is on rollers that can slide up and down it. And you do watch people sliding up and down it. There's off to one side, there's a kid that's playing and then appropriately gets disciplined by a parent, while there are other people studying and working inside the library proper. Each floor has a sort of mesh-like netting that separates each individual floor of this 7-story grand hall. The 7 floors each have different sections of books within them, and each of them look like the same sort of thing. Little walkways on this netted space with bookshelves that people can read upon. When you go in, Theo and Pele, you've been here before. The first area is public items of the public domain, which is why there is no real management around this first level. People can come in, read what books they want that are there, and sort through, and it's full. But as it's part of the information that's for the public domain, not everything is truly available. If you want to get specific and detailed information, you need to go to one of the upper floors to check into there to be able to gain that access. So at the back of the large library is a large dumbwaiter system that is used for carrying people up and down the different levels of the observatory.
I would like to flag down a librarian.
Okay. You'll go looking through a couple shelves. It takes you quite a bit of time to really find one person that stands out as a librarian, but eventually you will have someone that's struggling with a whole host of books that they're trying to reorganize on one particular shelf. They're down on their knees. They're wearing long white robes. The individual that you can see is a fairly short looking female with long red hair. As you get closer to her, you'll notice she is actually dwarven rather than just being short.
Excuse me?
Yes. Can I help you?
Yeah. Can you point me out to where the historical abyssal section is?
Fact or fiction?
Historical fact.
Historical fact. Okay. Right. Okay. So you go to the back, go up to the 3rd floor, and you'll want to go through the rightmost arch.
Okay, thank you.
That's where you'll find all the. Oh, okay.
Look out.
Yeah.
Go that direction.
Still trying to talk a little bit as you walk away, but not to be listened to. All right. At the back there is as I said, a large elevator system that is actually manned by an incredibly sized pulley system, with teams of individuals working on just the shifting of gears to get it moving. You can get in, go up to the 3rd floor. You'll see that the 3rd floor is actually split quite appropriately into angels and demons. And the rightmost archway is demons and the abyss. So you can head on in there, but before you go in there, right at the front there is a barrier that crosses over the way, and there is a check-in desk right next to it. You've been to this sort of area before. They like to know the names and identities of everyone who enters the more reserved portions of the library.
I will approach and do the thing that I know that they want from me.
All you need to do is, and as soon as you approach, the librarian that's sat behind the desk doesn't really even look at you, just kind of pushes the sign-in book over towards you, expecting you to sign your name. Mm-hmm. Now, I need to just clarify and ask if you're going to give your name, or if you're going to give. Oh, okay, so you're giving your own name. Right. Each of you will be required to sign. And if any of you decide to write someone else's name, you'll have to make a wisdom save. Do any of you choose to write someone else's name? Nope. Okay.
Theodore, is this something that we can help you with? Is this a task that would benefit from more heads, or is this maybe a case where too many cooks would ruin the soup?
Oh, seldom is there ever a circumstance in which there are too many cooks. I will definitely take your help. We're looking for anything involving the sins or the manifestation of the sins.
Sign it with my name.
Okay.
I did too.
All right. Once inside, you just have shelves and shelves of a whole host of books that are all dedicated to things that even mention the abyss. So what are the kinds of things that you are specifically going to be searching for in the library today?
As we walk, I'm going to still be talking, not looking over my shoulder, just assuming they're all following me. We want to know what their abilities, strengths, and weaknesses are. We want to know what they are, because I know that sometimes they have different kinds of classifications. If there's any living people who have witnessed these manifestations, and we can talk to them. Any clues where they may have landed. You got it?
Okay. All right. So, doing so, investigation checks, either each of you rolling one, or one of you rolling with advantage, as you're helping each other work through it. So what would you prefer?
I vote for each of us rolling one.
Okay.
I am going to be looking specifically for information regarding the perhaps demon cults, these devoted to these sinful creatures, and whether or not a coven would be one of these cults, and maybe we can get information about the coven specifically, that, and etc., etc. My investigation is a 12.
Okay. Cecil, are you going to be investigating at all?
Well, I was going to tell Theo that would help her, because I don't feel that Cecil really cares about this library. As again, he doesn't really. To him, this place isn't. He already did his part. And he's waiting for his family to send the information, at least for one of them. And so I was gonna help Theo, but she already rolled. So I'll just try. Cecil will just try to see if something like catches his eye with an investigation roll.
Okay.
14.
All right. And Theo, doing your own investigation, how do you do?
Oh, I got a 4. Investigation is not my strong suit. I'm more of a historian.
Okay. All right. So, unfortunately, Theo, you're going through all the books and things. You're skimming maybe a little bit too much. You don't really pick up very many things. Pelea is looking specifically for information about covens. Yes.
I like to think that I keep finding stuff about the sins themselves, but no manifestations of. And so I keep sinking like an hour at a time into thinking that I'm on some kind of trail. Turns out, nah. Next book.
More of a religious text about avoiding a sinful life than how to find a sin.
Nonsense.
Okay. So, looking specifically for the information about the coven, Pelea, you are able to find a lot of references to covens of witches, both good and bad, that use a lot of magics that are fed from other entities outside. In fact, you'll learn fairly quickly that within the library, a lot of the more historical, the older notes about when it talks about hags is reference to witches. Witches is actually, in the case of the book, it might not be public these days in the world, but according to the historical books, a witch is actually a female warlock. And so these hags started out as warlocks to some greater deities that began to worship them. Unfortunately, you don't find any real information about this coven specifically, but only that, as far as you're aware, all covens usually stay within close proximity to one another. You don't find any evidence that seems to suggest that a coven would be too far spread from each other locally, because coven spellcasting requires them to be within a certain distance. That distance is controlled by the power of the coven themselves. Find a weak coven, they have to stay within feet of each other. Find a powerful coven, it may be a few miles. Okay. Cecil, you're helping out with the list of things that Theo asked for, that Theo was giving you details about. And you're not really caring so much, as you said. You've got you're looking for that sort of thing. You do learn that there is a book in here, as you're reading through it, that mentions something called the Great Dissension. And you skim through it, and it talks about a cycle. Every few centuries, there is a cycle where great powers descend upon the world and the world of Horen itself. And these great powers are both good and ill. And when they descend or ascend up into the plane, they themselves, while it is believed, theory believes that they do take on a physical form, the book seems to suggest that the only way to identify that an individual is of whatever entity they were previously is because extraplanar entities have an effect on the world around them. So you can assume that the way to find a sin is find a place that is being shifted towards that sin. You want to find a place that has wrath in it. You look for a warmongering civilization that wasn't warmongering. You want to find someone that is embodying lust. You find a place that has suddenly taken a turn towards lust. Unfortunately, according to the book, this process of corruption or influence can take time. So identifying who is one of the 7 deadly sins, or one of the 6 that's present, is going to potentially take time for their influence to begin to spread, for them to be found in that particular way. Granted, if you know the true name of the entity, you can usually scry for it. But no one knows the true name of these entities. However, it does talk briefly that this dissension is for both good and bad spirits. So powerful entities of the more angelic nature, which you can go to the other side to learn more and all of that, but you can learn that both good and ill over the centuries have visited the Earth. So this isn't the first time.
I will relay that to Theo and to you.
She's got like a stack of 20 books. She's at a table. She got her feet up. Boots are all muddy and just falling on the table. No class going on right now whatsoever. And she just tosses a book and she's like, friggin' nothing. You said you found something?
Yeah, I'm just gonna slide her the book and sit like on the table like this.
Okay, so according to this, it seems to imply that we're just going to have to let a whole lot of people succumb to it over time, and then that's our way that we find them. So, nothing we can do preemptively? Is that kind of what you got from this too?
Yep. Unless we figure out their real name. Obviously, which could probably not happen, but if we, I don't know, go to places infested with demons and hunt them and torture them and have a little fun there, maybe we can get a little lead.
Okay, well, I'm out. It sounds like a
Theo,
terrible time.
Theo, roll an intelligence-based skill check for me while you're thinking. You read the book that he found that you're thinking about. Roll an intelligence check.
As a 14.
Okay, all right. So your mind will stick on, at least catch on a little bit more than what Cecil did there, in that this is a cyclical process. While you may not be able to identify anyone that would have been affected now,
I can check the past events of certain cultural places and see if there are any historical references for the sins having overwhelmed the culture locally. I got it. Okay, we need to go to general history.
Crack the case.
Oh, is this going to be... Oh, but I don't know if this is individual to this continent or if it's a worldwide thing. It says it's a worldwide thing, right?
Yes.
Oh, dang it. Okay. Well, I guess we'll just start with Ermios. So, okay, we need to go find the dwarven lady. I'll go back to the dwarven lady and be like, okay, can you show me historical events now?
So absolutely, you check out of the demonology section of the book. They then send you to the uppermost level, the top level, which is the 7th floor, specifically for just general history. And this is the more intense listing specifically of specific individuals than anywhere else that is found. Unfortunately, it's also a little bit more secure. So in entering into this space, there are actually a couple guards of the local city watch. So nothing too imposing, but they're just there to keep an eye and be witness of things. To access this library, you must leave something in lieu of a deposit of some sort. So usually a It could be giving over your spellcasting focus, or giving over something of importance to you, or something that you cannot exist without, more or less, outside of the library, so that just in case something happens, they kind of hold a little over you.
Oh, okay.
Okay. Do you have anything that you could leave as a deposit at the door?
Not really. I mean, they can't exactly take my face. Will they take my sword and my shield?
Yeah.
That's all I got. I'm a broke college kid.
Is your sword and your shield in any way identifiable as yours?
Yeah,
so that they can, yeah.
The shield for sure. Not so much the sword. The sword's pretty run of the mill. But the shield has a lightning bolt down the middle of it, and one side is red, one side is yellow.
Okay, then they'll take the shield. If it's identifiable as yours, then they can chase you up should they need to for some reason. Okay?
That's fine.
So you hand over that. The auditor will allow you inside, and you can start searching through those records for individuals who have shown or been around witnesses. That section that you were looking for were living witnesses of the demons and of these sorts of events. So go ahead and roll a skill. Well, we should rather say, I'll let you choose which skill you use if you can describe it appropriately as to how it helps you.
Can I try history, and can I try to narrow down in my head where these look like? Start with an event that I know of that sounds very similar to something that would be a sin and benefit. Like maybe this was it. I remember that happening. Start there.
Okay. Yeah. No, absolutely. Go ahead. Roll a history check.
15.
15. Okay. You do much better this time. Much better. You're looking through and looking specifically for individuals that have those effects, and you find you end up jumping to a particularly dark time in the history of the Empire, and that is when the Empire first started, the original starting moment of the Empire of Ermia. So it's one of the earliest records. It's also one of the most degraded and the oldest ones. It mentions a certain general captain who was in the army, who quickly grew to the ranks of an impeccable and impressive soldier. But he also became well known for his aggressive nature and his unrelentlessness in terms of his following his orders and getting what he achieved. He, as you read more about this individual general, you get more ideas and more thoughts that this could be someone who was heavily influenced by one of the sins. It could be wrath, it could be greed. Very easily it could be termed as greed, but it was clearly that there was a sudden shift and he changed and grew up. His name was General Easton. 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 Being that he was one of the greatest generals in the Irmiosian Empire at the beginning, his family still exists today as one of the high members. And so you can quickly find through the records and the documents that he currently has a descendant who is his namesake, conveniently, as one of the lawkeepers in town. His name is Charleston Easton.
All right.
Okay.
That's all I got.
That's mostly what you have. Now, judging by his behavior, you then learned that at the same sort of time, there was evidence of other people being influenced by other entities, not just the sins. At about the same time, you had a lot of people that seemed to be exemplaries of true love, of pure order, of the purest form of light. These entities who embodied the good aspects in life rather than just those, all happened at about the same time. But that's all that you've really got, is a living descendant of someone that was influenced by one of the sins previously.
So how long has all of this part of the research taken? I imagine a while.
Yeah, this section within the top portion, about an hour. I would say in each section you spent about an hour.
Are all of my broskies still here, or have y'all all just like gotten bored and wandered off?
It's like that nighttime party where later and later you go, there are just fewer people hanging around.
I am interested in helping. I am also concerned about Obsidian regarding the posters we found. I fear for his safety. So I have 1 foot in and 1 foot out, as it were. It is a concern I have for our friend.
Yes, I'm here.
Thank you, Cecil. Pelair, if you like, go look for Obi, if it would put you at ease. Nothing's going on here that's worrisome in particular.
Very well. I expect I will not be able to find Obsidian, but I am concerned. Perhaps I will wait at the establishment that we are setting up.
If you make yourself seen, I'm sure that he will see you.
I will make a show of going to the establishment. So when you are finished here, perhaps meet us there. I hope he is there when I find. I hope that he has returned there, knowing that it is safe.
Okay. See you then.
Right. So you head on off. Cecil, also roll me an investigation check, as you might help out. You're not just going to stand there. But while he's doing that, we are going to jump over to Obi. Obi, what are you doing?
After I duck away from the group, I think I need to go reconnoiter a little bit. I've got some people in town to talk to, just to touch, just to keep tabs with the other urchins and criminal contacts that may or may not be around. And I'm going to, well, first of all, I need to get some fletchings and replenish some arrows, which I would be doing tonight. Hood up, little hidden, but I'm honestly going to go on a little shopping trip. I need to find some wool, preferably from like a live sheep, like not pre-worked, and I need to find some wood, like some high quality oak, maybe elm.
Okay. Now,
I'm also broke because I gave everything away.
Yeah. I was just going to say, I'd like to clarify, when you say you'd like wool off a sheep, is the intention that you're going to go and shave a sheep, or are you going to try and buy wool that has been freshly shaven off a sheep?
If there are sheep in the area, I have never done that before. I would totally do that. If sheep are a little further away, I would just go buy some unprocessed wool. But no, if there's a sheep nearby and I know there's a herd nearby, I'm totally going to go shave some sheep.
Now, there will be small plots of land within the mountains, just below Oakwell, that do have sheep within them. But no, it's probably quicker to go and buy actual wool from someone. But you don't have any money.
I mean, I've got 4 silver and 6 copper. And for a chunk of wool, like
a winning personality.
And a winning personality and very quick hands.
So, how are you going to get the items that you need? Are you going to attempt to steal first and buy whatever you can't steal, or are you going to try and barter and then steal what you can't purchase?
Oh no, the simple stuff. I just want like a little block of high quality wood, like 2 inches by 2 inches by like 6 inches, and I just need like a handful of wool. I can't imagine it'd be that expensive, and poor people sell that kind of stuff.
Yeah, a couple copper Just throw it
Yeah.
away, and people will give you what you need. Okay.
Right. So I'll spend a couple copper on that. And then, honestly, I need dye. I need something that will dye the hair color. Fur color,
Which
as it were.
color? Which color?
Gray.
Gray. Okay.
As though I were trying to go from my beautiful ocelot colors to a tabby cat kind of look.
You know what's funny for the people that are just now joining us in this game is that Matthew's done this before with another character.
It's true.
Go on.
And all of our wonderful artwork is produced by the talented
Yeah,
Sophie,
think about the
who
artist, man.
is about to have to start changing some
You know,
colors.
I got it. I'm just gonna do a color overlay in Photoshop, and we're done.
And it's not dye. I'm not like dyeing it hardcore. It's like makeup that I could rub on, and it's takes my oranges and turns them grays. Not permanent.
Well,
Okay.
don't worry. I'm just giving you shit.
Yeah. Well, I figure
All
it's cheaper. It's cheaper to buy makeup than dye or steel, depending on how much it costs.
Knowing your combinations, your organizations, your friends, the people that you know, disguise kits are things that they tend to specialize in, and those include a lot of those sorts of dyes. So you know a supplier who can get you some good quality merchandise for cheap, and so for 5 copper you can buy the dye that you need. Okay.
Woo!
And it'll be enough dye to be able to cover your entire body, just in case for some reason you needed to.
Can I spend twice
Sure,
that much
very
to have a spare supply in case I fall into a river and it all comes off?
Sure, go ahead.
Awesome. And then, honestly, I think I'll go buy some. Do I have any idea what these people like for food? My companions and
you've been with them-
compatriots.
You've been with them enough, and not just traveling over land where you've been eating just more or less dry rations or things that you can cook yourselves. But you remember the moment in Honeygulp that that you all went over. What was it? Chicken fingers.
That was at the Anxious Potato, sir.
That was the anxious potato.
potato.
Yes.
Here in Oakland.
Here in Oakwell, yes.
Known
it
for
was.
their chicken
Okay, so
fingers.
Yep.
you can go and get chicken fingers from the anxious potato.
I'll get some bacon. I'll get some eggs. I'll get some chicken fingers. I mean, talking to people, just the way it's not a quick process, so I will be out all night. But I guess the idea is I'll show up tomorrow morning early and try to surprise people with breakfast if they are asleep and wake up to the sizzling of chicken fingers and bacon.
All right. So that does kind of mean that unless, since Pele is not actively going out to search for you, Pele, you're not going to see him. Okay. Until the morning.
I was going to take a detour while I was heading back to our base of operations, but it doesn't have to be now. It can be whenever.
You can do it right now. What is your detour? What are you going to do?
I was going to look for the recruiter for the College of Artificery.
You remember the name?
Nope.
Okay. You're looking for
It was
Wajeb,
an orc.
a
Wajeb.
female
Yes.
Wajeb, a female orc that will be in the city. So, what are you going to do to find them?
I remember the dwarf told us that Wajeb would be in the northern district. So I'm going to go to the northern district and look for signs of crafting and to see if I find a dark-skinned orc lady.
Yep. All right. So, roll a perception check.
My passive is a 14 and my roll is coming forthwith. It is 12.
12. Okay. So taking your passive, you find her, but because you're using your passive perception, it takes you a little bit longer. You won't find her until another hour has gone by which point it's very late, I would think, getting quite late in the night. You do find Wajeb. You can clearly see off within the northern quarter of the city, past the large courthouses. There is a courtyard where there's actually quite a few different buskers trying to ply their trade. People that are trying to perform to try and earn a little bit of coin. So you see the stereotypical people that are pretending to be living statues, someone that's playing an instrument, all these people that are talented and trying to earn coin for their talent. A few people putting a little bit more effort into others. One person has taken a large sheet of plastic and is just shouting Christmas tunes. Oh, well, not actually Christmas because it might not be, but popular songs out of it, and drawing quite a few people away from him. But eventually you'll see Wajeb, who is currently puppeteering a group of mechanical monkeys that are dancing around on the floor to music in a very delicate design, like a very well choreographed dance sequence by these mechanical monkeys. And there's the orc female stood over them with a small book in her hand that she's just double checking everything and waving a hand every now and then, and they change what they're doing. There's quite a crowd around her. Yep.
I myself am enraptured, and I reach into my purse, and if she has a collection for coins, I throw a gold coin in.
Yep. A small portable hole-like situation here, just a sheet on the floor that seems to just accept the coin that people throw in. She'll give you a nod. Thank you for your patronage, and she'll keep going. I'm the wiser that you're there for anything other than patronage.
I will enjoy the show, and I will have the letter that we got from the dwarf out in my hand and be tapping it, like, not insistently, but I'm watching and enjoying the show, but I am tapping the letter every now and then to ensure that she knows I'm more than just a patron and I have business.
Okay. All right. You encourage her to stop her show or wind it down a little bit earlier. As the monkeys begin to slow down, they eventually stop and fold over. She'll put them into a little suitcase, clip it all together, thank everyone for being here and for enjoying the show. She'll be back in a couple of days to continue another show. But then the crowd departs, and she wheels her suitcase full of stuff towards you, indicating you can kind of come and talk to her as well.
That is a remarkable show. That your monkeys are marvelous.
Well, yes, I've done the best I can to craft an elegant show. To what do I owe your whatever this is?
I produce the letter and I hand it to her. This is a letter of introduction that a gentleman named Wilbur Jumbreaker from the city of Haganebuto said you would be a person that I would enjoy getting to know. Myself and my company, we have recently established, or are in the process of establishing, a house that will hopefully craft out many fine and wondrous things. And we need someone talented in these craftings. And he said I should seek you out, and perhaps you can arrange for me to meet some folks from the college that you know this Wilbur from. The folks who we would be meeting with would have the opportunity to obviously be gainfully employed under our auspices, but would also have access to these many arcane and mysterious scrolls that we come across in our travels. In fact, we came across, I do not have them on me at the moment, but we came across these very interesting writings by this artificer who was involved in augmenting body parts and making them enhanced to be more like animal limbs that would suit people better. These sorts of things that we could offer for the aspiring artificer.
If you standard procedure would be for me to inspect your property, see what you have to offer, and then assess it and send it off to my superiors. What kind of level of skilled workmen are you hoping might be employed in your place?
But we are hoping to employ someone of the finest caliber, but it is not necessarily proven work that we are seeking. Or more interested rather than in someone who can think outside the box. Very creative people who maybe have ideas that are not traditional and would therefore benefit from the minimal supervision that we would be giving to them. We would leave them to their own devices and let them come up with exciting new uses for their craft, and hopefully benefit from them ourselves.
Okay. All right. Yep. Okay. Absolutely. We could arrange something such as that, but let me talk to my superiors, and I'll chase you up about it. What will most likely happen is we might be able to arrange one of two things. Either you get a specific individual who is looking to work with you, or perhaps one thing that we have been trying to encourage is work placement opportunities for artificers to come and spend time at certain workplaces to show off their crafts, learn, and then come back and continue their studies. In which case, if you were to agree, the college would provide you with an artificer every 6 months or so to work. So give me whatever details about your location. I will inspect it, preferably by myself, so I'm not influenced, and then we will chase you up.
Very well. I provide the details of where we are, and I add that it is still a work in progress. So, do not mind the dust. It is under construction, and certainly we would benefit from your advice and things we can do to improve it, or we can even just wait for the prospective artificer to come in and customize it to his specifications.
Okay. All right. Thank you. Pleasure to meet you.
Pellier de Wintier, as says in this fine letter of introduction.
Okay, Belir of the Winter. I'm Wajib,
Very nice to
not
meet you.
of winter. Okay. So you then go back to the tavern, or not tavern, back to your home, the smithy. There's not really much else that you guys are able to gain from your studies today inside the library. Maybe you're a little bit tired. Maybe things just didn't work out. Cecil did a wonderful job of helping.
I woke up drinking, and I've been drinking this entire day, and nobody stopped me, so I am still drinking.
I'm just like sitting there, and I have like a pen. I'm just like playing with it, like trying to like balance it.
The dream team right here.
Right. But the night goes on. You'll end up all retiring back, sleeping well throughout the night. Obi's not there when you get back. No surprise. Unless you really wanted to go out hunting for him, Cecil. It's no surprise, Cecil. Obi isn't there.
I am going to be in a big red couch where the lamp is next to me. And I will wait for Obi to come in. And what I'll do is I will be sleeping, but I will put something in front of the door. Oh no, because he comes through the window. Damn. I will be sleeping in that big red couch with the lamp right next to me, and if I hear him, I want to be able to grab it quickly and turn on the light and be like, well.
Okay, so Cecil, what is your passive perception?
It is 11.
11. Okay, Obi, you'll come back. I'm sure you'll see him.
Sure.
Roll a stealth check.
I mean, I get plus 11 to stealth, so 25.
And because he's asleep, I'd even say the passive was reduced. So, yeah, you. Unfortunately, he.
Why is
sneaks
Cecil
past you.
sleeping in that giant chair? He has a bed. Or do we have a bed? I don't know.
You do
We're still
have
figuring
beds.
this out.
All right. Bright and early, everyone wakes up on this particular morn to the smell of bacon.
If you're very discerning, maybe you can smell the chicken fingers too.
So, someone's cooking in the house. You all are able to wake up. I think if you did drink that much, Theo, you'd have a bit of a hangover when you wake up.
Enough of one to do that thing where you just kind of float and the stink lines carry you towards the
The fry up,
yeah.
which is perfect
Cartoon
for
style,
a
yeah.
hangover. Okay.
And if I
So-
may, can Obi be wearing like an apron that says "Kiss the Chef" and like a ridiculous chef hat?
Totally. And he's cooking for the first time ever.
I have no idea if it's any good, but we'll give it a shot. Oh, hello! Hello, friends.
Good morning.
So, I guess this is our place. We live here, right? So, there is no, like... You just make your own food when you live somewhere, is that right? That's what I've seen.
There is nothing wrong with this, yes?
Okay, well... Do we have plates? It never occurred to me. I've got pans and cooking things. Is there a table?
Yeah. So when you left
Yeah.
Oakwell, your house was pretty much just walls.
Right.
Since then, you did leave instructions to get it begun and crafted. Since then, you got the basic necessities, which is a chair for each of you, a table, and a bed. More or less, that's it. The kitchen is little more than just a very concentrated fire, and so any cutlery or things that you have, you will have to kind of provide yourself or have found. But I think if you were planning to cook for
Hot
everyone,
pans
you'd know that
just
you
on the
have-
table. Like,
Yeah.
there's the food. I don't have plates. I don't have forks. There's just hot food in a pan.
Chicken fingers do not need plates.
I am going to grab one. I'm gonna eat it, and I'm gonna pull out the wanted poster, not slam it, just gently place it on the ground, move it forward, and we don't just keep eating. It's like, well, you explain.
Oh, I have a wonderful opportunity for all of you. We can make another 1,250 gold. Is not that great?
That sounds very promising, but it seems that would put you in a very dangerous position, would it not?
One would think, but what do you see when you read this poster?
That obsidian dragonfly is wanted for breaking and entering in the town of Purecrest.
Yes, but you note it was not issued by the government. This is not a warrant. The guards are not after me. This is just someone who wants to get a hold of me.
That's got to be an acronym.
ROAB? Or
Yeah.
Purecrest?
Roab.
Yes, it is an acronym. Very, very smart. So, this is not what it appears to be. Roab, as you may know, his name is Roar of a Bear. He is like me, Tabaxi. I know him from before. He is a poor fellow like me. And sometimes when you can't get a hold of people, you have to get their attention. So if you actually look here, you can see the way that the words are shaped. And you can see a couple other things. This is a secret meaning that the urchins know. We often speak in code. And this code means that Roab, who I know him, but he needs assistance. And we need to go to Purecrest. Have any of you been to Purecrest?
I have been all over this fine land.
Did you ever notice a Fire Drake pub at Purecrest? No, you did not, because it does not exist. That is a code. That means he needs help, but we have to go there sneakily. So we should have different names, or at least I must. I need to go help him as a professional courtesy. He has at great risk signaled that he requires immediate and necessary assistance. So I must go to him.
I would like to insight Obsidian to see if he is making this up to cover that he's actually wanted, or if he's.
Okay.
So I'm trying to get a tell off of him if there's anything I believe.
So roll an insight check, and Obi, roll to me whispered, so privately, roll either persuasion if you are telling the truth, or deception if you are lying.
And that was a 7 on the insight.
Okay. He's a shifty fellow, but on this occasion, he seems to be a little honest. He seems to be fairly straightforward. Doesn't look like he's trying to cover. He seems to be revealing quite a lot about his past to you right now, so you trust him.
Obsidian, and a friend of yours is a friend of ours.
I did not say friend. You should not trust him. I think it is fair to say I like you all very much. And we need to go help him. But you should not trust him or anyone we talk to. And we should keep watch and don't drink anything anyone gives you. And we'll just leave it at that.
Obsidian, I am happy to help. I am confused that these conditions exist, however. It seems like this is someone we would want to avoid and not assist.
I am not concerned about him, but if he is in trouble, he is a scoundrel, that Roab, and he may, who knows what he may be involved in. But until we know, it is better safe than sorry.
I'm just gonna keep eating chicken. I'll be like, you're full of shit. and like my mouth is full, just like sitting down, like, you know, chilling.
What do you owe this guy? Why is he someone that you would go back for?
So you went to school with people, right? There are others like you that you know that you have worked with, right?
Yeah, I guess.
Yeah.
Kinda.
And if one of your friends from school that you knew was in trouble, but not like oh, I'm in trouble, but like they communicated they are in desperate and dire straits and specifically need you to help them as a matter of not friendship so much as professional courtesy. And
I tell him no.
And if you did not
here?
help with professional courtesy, maybe all the other professionals would take that the wrong way. There is a code. There are things you must do.
Okay,
And
so
so
he's
I
a
must
thief
go
like
there.
you.
Yes.
Okay. And
Yes.
you guys have worked with each other before, and you've had each
Yeah.
other's backs.
Yeah. Yes.
So you
Yes.
continue to have each other's. Okay.
Right,
all
but-
Theodora,
knowing-
Obsidian
he
was
could-
wrongfully accused before. That is a harsh accusation to level as his our good friend.
I'm gonna look at Filier eating and be like, "You're full of shit too."
Yeah, that is a good way to do it. It is. He could steal from me one day. I could steal from him. But for a while, we stole together. And you're right. That one time, I was falsely accused. But that does not mean they had good reason to go after me. Let's put it that way. the law keepers. So I need to go to him, and it is in Piercrest. We need to go there, but we need to go in disguise. And the way these words are put together, there should be passage there that is arranged for us at
Nejireta?
Nejereta. Why cannot they use normal words? Gah. So we just need to go to Nejereta, and there should be passage there, and thieves will be running the boat, but the professional courtesy, you are safe on the boat. But until we get on the boat, and if you ever get off the boat, we should just be very careful.
So Obi has just suggested that you guys need to follow him to go meet with a thief, assassin, or ex-buddy that's not really a friend,
thief.
but kind of a friend. but
Assassin
could be a
was
friend. A
not
thief.
in there at
Okay,
all.
a thief. There's supposed to be a boat that'll pick you up at the ruins of Nejereta. Like, the place is desolate. It is nothing but ruined expanse of what it once was.
I'm going to scuff down the last chicken tender because nobody was eating.
I was. Excuse me.
Okay.
Okay. I'm
Oh,
sorry.
fight you for that.
Oh, what?
Okay.
Oh,
Or no. All right.
There are also
Slam
Split
the
it.
table.
Let's split it.
I got some bread.
I will go with you, Obi, but I have 2 conditions and 1 thing y'all should know.
Okay.
Condition number 1 is that we stop at a store on the way out. There are 2 places I want to try. I want to try to find some diamonds
Ooh.
for spellcasting components. You'll be thankful later. 2, if it gets too hairy, I'm out. And
We are getting on the boat and sailing away. There are limits to how far out you can go.
what do you mean? Like,
I mean, if things get too hairy, you can't jump off the side of the boat in the ocean and swim back
you
to shore.
can't jump off the side of the boat. I have a glider.
Okay, that is
All
fair.
right, if it gets too hairy, I'm out.
Okay.
And then the thing that you should know is that yesterday in the observatory, me and Cecil did find that there is a possible lead on the demons here in Oakwell. There's a law keeper. There's a descendant of someone who was a general that had a lot of events kind of happen around him. I'm kind of optimistic with this lead because so many events kind of circled him is why I'm hoping that he might have a lead, but we might want to check that on our way out as well.
Does anyone else have any other conditions?
I'm gonna grab out the wanted posters and I'm gonna slam. I think I took 4. Wait, one that concludes Obi's. I'm gonna slam them down. I don't slam them down. I feel like I'm slamming down a lot of stuff lately. I'm going to lightly place them on the table and push them to Obi, and I'm gonna look at him and I'm gonna say, "Your job is to help us find these 3 people. Anybody. We can get information, and we get money that we can use, or we can give to Dio for the debt. Okay, that's my only condition, and I will be your sword."
Find 3 people?
Well, just try to look after and see if these people that are wanted. Use your connections. Be all sneaky. Do what you do.
Okay. We don't have time to capture them, but if what you're asking for is like giving a good tip and then you get like money from a tip hotline, maybe. But
if you help me, I'll help you.
Oh, this is going to be such a busy day. Okay.
Well, this one right here, Cecil, and I'm going to point at the one about the halfling. It's like this one right here is not going to be a fight. You know that, right? This one right here is going to be all talking.
Yes, we have the greatest talkers in this party. I'm going to look at Obi.
So, okay, Pellier, do you have any conditions?
Not the condition, but the question.
I mean, I got you breakfast. I thought this was going to be enough. I did not know I'd have to jump through all these hoops.
Cecil ate almost all of it. I have a question regarding the disguise. Why would we need to wear disguises?
Oh, disguise. A different name. Just to refer to yourselves as something different. If you have any uniquely identifying appearances, maybe keep that quiet. But no, not a disguise. Do not change who you are. But maybe instead of calling you Pellier, we say, "Hey, it's Ron."
Ron.
Yeah, just something different, because you never know who we may run into. I don't know exactly what we're running into.
So I do not understand the need for us to be in disguise, and I suspect that I will have a harder time than others. I am a bit of an oddity in this land, and
tell me about it. There are not that many tabaxi.
There is some infamy as well. But again, what do you have concerns about? My identity.
If you do not wish to hide your identity, it is fine. How well known are you, Pellier? We've known each other. Like, I know you were in Oakwell, but like, Faircrest is out there. Like, if the name of Pellier is heard, does that like cause people to shake in their boots for fear of the judgment of the lawkeepers?
I do not know that the name is necessarily an household name, but certainly from time to time, as I travel across the country, I am recognized by random peoples.
If we offend people, I do not want you to be stuck with offended people knowing who you are. Particularly the kind of people who may have a grudge. But if that does not concern you, that is fine. But I would encourage everyone to go by a different name, including your horse and your the Soxies.
Bootsies and Stripesies.
Boots, socks, it's common.
It's all the same.
It's the same in Tabaxi.
I as a champion of the lawkeepers, I have fought many criminals. So if there are criminals that have a grudge against me, they already exist. I am not concerned for another one.
Okay. Well, so here's my recommendation. Now that breakfast is over and Theo looks like she's not half dead, just a quarter dead at this point. So I apparently have a lot to do for Pellier or for Cecil, but there is a time crunch. I mean, the boat is showing up, and we need to be there. So if you want to talk to people and do things, that means a night on the road without stopping, because we need to leave now if you want to like travel normal pace. So if you want to do much more today and spend a day here, that means a forced march to get there in time. But that is okay.
We don't have to do it now. I'm just saying that I would appreciate your help in this situation.
That is a given. So,
Yes.
Cecil, you're my friend. That is no problem. No, but I was worried you wanted to do it today.
Oh,
And
well,
that was
you
like,
can right now.
that doesn't. There is not much time, and we certainly need to go.
As long as you're actively looking, then everything's fine.
Tell you what, I will talk to who I need to talk to, and if anyone wants to come with me, great. Theo, you need to talk to someone before we go. Maybe we meet at the city gates in like 2 hours, 3 hours.
We collectively need to talk to someone. I wouldn't leave it up to me. I'm not contractually obligated to be your mouthpiece.
Well, it's a good thing I have this contract right here that needs to be signed by everybody.
No.
Do you really have a contract?
No.
Okay.
But I do need to hit up the store. Does the college have a college bookstore?
It does.
Yay, discounts.
Is for your
You get a
diamond?
10% discount for showing your student card.
I mean, I can get you a better discount, maybe, but it might also end us up in jail. So your call.
Probably end up you in jail.
I mean,
What? How would it end up with me in jail?
No, not you. Just one of us. It would slow us down if one of us got arrested for stealing a diamond. But you know,
Stealing a diamond takes time. I need it right now.
stealing a diamond and not getting caught takes time. Okay, well, off we go. Cecil, keep my wanted poster because it is going to be a novelty. You'll find that they are all gone today. So enjoy that while it lasts.
Wait, what did you do with them?
Oh, no, I did not do anything. They're part of reaching out this way with the coded language. It is always very short time because leaving that up could be problematic for many people. So it is a very time-limited code. We are lucky we came back when we did.
All right. So you go out looking, doing your various little tasks. Now, Theo, the college itself, because it specializes in those kinds of magics, they have a on-staff supplier that provides all those kinds of spellcasting components for pretty cheap, but you have to go in and deal with it. So on a rare occasion, you will be permitted to get even the exotic items, such as a diamond that is worth 300 gold, specifically capable of being used as a spellcasting component.
That's one of my bingo card things.
Yeah.
So I really need it. Yeah.
Yep. So they will give you everything you need at a 10% discount today. Once you've purchased your first diamond from them, from that point on, diamonds are no longer at a discount. If that makes sense.
That makes sense. Yeah.
But everything else, yeah, you can get everything for cheap. So you want the diamond for 270 gold pieces, and then you want a whole bunch of other stuff. No, it was just the diamond.
Just the diamond.
Okay, well, there you go. 270 gold, and you've got yourself a shiny diamond.
Thank you.
Right.
Do you know anyone by the name of... wait, no, he's a lawkeeper. I know where to find him. Never mind.
Yeah. So if lawkeepers are on duty, they'll be at the courthouse. If they're not on duty, they'll be usually at home. Finding their at-home address, depending on the families, is possible. And so as you go out, it'll take you maybe 20 minutes to go and confirm that lawkeeper Easton is not on duty right now. He will be at his home, his manor house, which the family has had for generations. this large compound for the Eastern family you'll be led towards, you'll be pointed towards, is a compound of 3 houses. And it is known that with this family being one of the older families, that they are a little traditional in some of their views, such that in this compound, this walled compound, there's a 15-foot high brick wall that surrounds these large 3 homes. The central home is the largest of the 3. In the central home lives the patriarch of the family and his immediate family. And the other 2 houses that are connected are provided to his heir and the I can't remember the term for it, but the second heir. Just in case something happened to the first, the second would take over. And so the immediate hierarchy of the Eastern family lives on this compound, and others would live all throughout the city. Lawkeeper Easton is the patriarch of his family. So you can approach his compound, which is secured and guarded by the personal house guard. These house guards are all very similar in style and appearance, not just the uniform that they wear, but also you can tell that their haircut, hair color, even their facial features have been specifically chosen to have a very certain aesthetic of thin, a very tanned skin, definitely all human, and very tall, muscular individuals. All of them. They don't respond to anything unless you get right up to the gate. Specifically trained to ignore everything until people try to get to the gate. So you approach, you want to contact Lord Easton?
Yep.
Or Lawkeeper Easton?
Sure do.
Yep. Doing so, they'll ask what's your business? Why do you want to speak to the Lawkeeper?
Wanted to see if he had any insight on some historical events that may save several hundred thousands of lives, potentially.
The guy just kind of stares blankly at you and checks everyone else out to see how serious everyone is.
I'm serious.
Okay. And opens up the gate and kind of walks at a brisk pace towards the main manor house, which is a 4-story high building, about 100-foot wide space. The driveway, the pathway that leads up around to the front, is pebbled. There's a nice garden and a water feature right outside the front. Out in the garden is Lawkeeper Easton. He's currently playing a game of catch with some younglings in the family. As he's throwing a ball and they're running out. It's more or less fetch, because they do a terrible job of throwing it. But he's playing with the kids. The soldier will walk up, quickly mention something to him very quietly, and turn back to you. So he'll give the ball to one of the kids and excuse himself and walk over.
As we were making our way here, I'd like to turn to Cecil and say, do you want this?
I'm gonna look and be like, I don't remember what we did yesterday, honestly.
And I'm the one that was drinking. Okay.
As we're walking, I'm just gonna talk to her and just be like, so what do you want me to ask?
We
you know
need
what?
to...
Good cop, bad cop. You'll be the good cop. I'll be the bad cop. All right, cool. And I'm gonna push it forward.
Lawkeeper Easton will walk up, see that you've pushed Theo past towards him. Microphone. You can still hear me, okay, right?
I want to say I'll just glide her, but I'll still be like there. And as I see the guy, I'm gonna give a nod.
You're so strong that even though I brace my feet and you make the mud, like you make trenches from where my feet were. That's how strong you are.
And he will walk right past the Theo that is being pushed past him to hold a hand out to shake your hand, Cecil.
I will shake his hand.
Yeah, I had an inkling.
Can I help you?
Well, Theo, you want to explain why we're here?
You're really quiet.
Oh.
Cecil.
Can you hear me now?
Yes, now I can.
So I'm gonna say, Theo, do you want to explain why we're here to see the general?
Only if he's willing to listen.
What is, how can I help you?
Well, I won't hesitate to tell you that there is another large calamity headed our way. It is possible that you could give us some insight on preventing some casualties. So we're here to collect that information if you have it and you're willing to give it. It's possible that the events that we now face may be connected to the events that your great grandfather had to deal with during the Great Division.
Descent.
Thank you. It involves greater demons. Is there a place where we can talk that is away from children?
Yes, of course. My name is Charleston, and he'll hold a hand out to shake your hand.
Theodora Volkenjäger.
Pleasure to meet you. Please do not excuse do not assume my actions earlier were in any way against you. It was more, I noticed him trying to avoid communication and wanted to draw him out.
I am just here to get this information. If you are willing to give it, then that is all we need to speak about.
I'm
Happy
not
to help.
Not avoiding anything. I just believe in the Professor Doctor.
Right. Oh, you're a professor and a doctor.
Not yet.
Not yet. Okay.
I'm in school.
So all while this is leading towards the manor house, the guards will open the doors, lead you in towards a private office space, which is very dark brown in everything. The walls have been painted a dark brown. There's a nice dark mahogany desk that is his. It's a half-moon shape desk with a chair behind it, and it's just covered in all kinds of different papers, notes, and books. Along the walls of this space, you can see plenty of hunting trophies have been mounted high up at the top. So he's got some lions, tigers, and bears that he's hunted that are up on the wall. He'll invite you to sit down in some very nice leather sofas that are present. And rather than sitting behind his desk, he'll kind of just sit on top of it, cross a leg over the other. Go and get the chefs to get us some wine and bring some cheeses, please. What is the calamity that you're here to avoid?
Well, I'll take over. Don't worry. I'm gonna give you the little
thank you.
Cecil smirk and the
mask
Cecil,
drops.
Basically, the 6 of the 7 deadly sins have been, I don't want to say resurrected, have been summoned and are currently out and about and are probably starting to create a little bit of havoc right now. We don't know. Oh wait, yeah, we do, because it was gluttony, right? Or was it greed?
Sloth.
Oh, sloth. My bad. So we were able to stop sloth, and I pat, Theo on the back, and the other 6 are currently out and about, and we're trying to figure out the best way to either locate them, defeat them, seal them, kill them, or anything that can help in this situation.
Right, and you've come to me because
your ancestor looks like he was in a calamity that kind of similar to the one right now that's happening, and he exhibited certain traits of a sin. So what Theo is thinking and what I'm thinking is that these what happened a long time ago is that maybe it was the sins themselves that, well, that's what I'm thinking, that maybe it was the sins that were causing problems, and that he was not possessed by one, but there was a sin affecting that area. We just want to know more information about what happened a long time ago.
Did you hear about any greater demons from the stories back then?
No greater demons, no. I do know that my grandfather, however many greats he was, did mark down in journals that he felt drawn to something, and he felt more confident and empowered because of something that he came across. But if what is happening now has happened before, the world didn't end before. You mentioned this is a calamity. How is... I don't... I'm willing to help, but I don't see the danger. Man sins. We all do. We all are imperfect. So to try to remove the sins from the world, you'll be at that for a very long time. What makes you convinced this is so urgent and a great calamity that needs to be avoided?
Well, they're the embodiment of sin. They're creatures, like legit creatures.
Right. And I hate to say, but playing the fiend's advocate here, you see my home, you see my position, you see my family, happy, good people, all off of the back of my great grandfather, and his actions. Were they? Can you say that what happened then did not help the world now?
I can't say whether it did or didn't. We're literally just here just for information, because this is what my family does. We hunt these things, and that's all I'm here to do.
I will introduce myself. Pardon me, Lawkeeper Ariston. My name is Pellier de Winter, and I've served with Lawkeepers for many years. I think what my colleagues are trying to say is that while your ancestor was truly a great man and general and military strategist, what were to happen if this influence and power came into the hands of someone of less substance, of more nefarious ends? We have no way of knowing who would be in possession of these traits, and if it came into the wrong hands, it could be disastrous, and therefore maybe it would be best to put an end to this influence before it ran its course. Would you not agree, as a man of the law?
That makes sense. We must be careful, though, not to punish people for things they have not done. So, do be careful on your great calamity quest that you're on.
It is not people that we are hunting. It is the demons that are in our sights.
This much I can tell you. I can offer you. I studied my great-grandfather's journals as a child because I wanted to be more like him, to grow and reach the pinnacle of the point that I'm at. And I did so. I rose myself to the great position that I have here for the purpose of helping my family. He received aid and assistance from shall we call it a lucky stone. A lucky stone which I hold in my possession today, and certainly will not be giving it away.
Is he, in looking at him as he says this, does he have like a tell, like he's holding it on his person, or is it maybe in a safe upstairs?
Roll an insight check.
20.
Okay. His fingers seem to rub a ring that isn't there. Okay. I know what your... well, to answer your question, what happened with him was simply that he felt empowered by this object of great influence to stir him on forward. I have that object on me. If you would like it, I'm willing to give it, but I will not come out of this exchange the lesser. So, what will you give me for this object?
May we investigate the object before we discuss terms of barter?
Yeah, because if it's not a greater demon itself, then we don't have any interest in it.
Yeah.
Roll a persuasion check. With advantage because you are working together. Someone in the party, I don't mind who.
Should I just do it?
Yeah.
That'd be a good idea.
All right.
You're all working together on this regard. Okay,
22.
Okay. So he'll rub a thumb underneath his hand for a moment, and you'll see a ring with a large green stone appear within it. He'll hold his hand out, but in such a way that you cannot take the ring off of his finger. You're welcome to...
Can we take his finger off of his hand?
No! Obi.
That's not allowed. It's in my
Maybe.
head. It's in my head.
I kind of want him. I kind of want him to.
So he'll hold his hand out, almost like inviting you to give his ring a kiss or something. But by all means.
Lockkeeper Easton, perhaps you are familiar with the magic that divines certain properties of magical items. Surely this item is possessed of some arcane greatness. However, this spell that would cast, I would guess, would take 10 minutes, and I fear your arm may grow tired over this course of time. Would you like to continue holding your hand out, or do you trust me, as someone who has served with the lawkeepers for a century, to take possession of this item briefly while I identify it?
Pele, roll a persuasion check.
Well, that's not going to work out well. That is 17.
I know of your reputation, Master De Winter. Yes, but, as I say, I will not be caught the lesser. He'll hold a hand out with a palm up to you, while he takes off the ring and holds that in the palm out for him. A trade, a deposit.
I pull out one of my silvered side swords and hand it over gently. This has been in my possession for a very long time, and you will note that its craftsmanship is very fine.
Would he consider that to be high value and to you, specifically you? Would he be able to kind of get that theme off of you?
Well, if he knows my reputation, then those swords would be synonymous with Pelir's reputation.
Okay, fair enough. Then he'll take it. He'll take the side sword. He'll give you the ring. You can cast Identify. He's going to stand there the entire time, but once you're finished with the ritual casting of Identify, you will learn that this object, this gem that's on here, there's many things about the ring. The ring, specifically, is just a ring enchanted to go invisible at will by the person that is wearing it. The gemstone is separate. The gemstone is actually what appears to be more like a moon rock or something, a meteorite piece of rock that seems to be made out of this very strange and odd magical substance. What you have in your hand is according to the identification spell, this is a shard of greed. A portion of the entity greed has manifested itself physically in the form of this stone that you are holding in your hand. A portion of when the entity that was greed ascended to Horen, portions of him broke off and split off into the world. This is one of those. So you have right now a portion of greed.
I am very off-put by this. And I offer the ring back.
Okay. So the ring has been around the party for 10 minutes. So I'd like charisma saves from everyone, please.
Do we get bonuses from being by Smug
The
Boy?
one and only. The one and only legendary paladin, outlaw, I don't know.
Roll your charisma saves.
While they're rolling, based on our personal proclivities, is that DC kind of an individual thing based on our other discussions? So exciting. I love D&D.
Certain people are more susceptible to greed than others.
So mine's a 7 plus Cecil's 5, so 12.
Okay.
Mine's
And
two.
Cecil's 11 already includes his 5?
No, not yet. I don't have it set up that way.
Okay. So,
With Cecil's bonus, I have a 23.
okay. Right. So in this situation, Theo finds herself somewhat slightly overwhelmed by the power of greed, and so does Cecil. A little bit. Not as much as Theo does. Greed works in you for a moment. Theo, you see this individual, and your mind is kind of running back and forth around the idea that you've had to do far too many cases of giving something away in order to be able to gain information and then get it back. This is just annoying that I've had to go through all these steps one after the other. Why won't people just give me what I want? And it just starts to shift and kind of dull your mind. Well, not dull your mind, but sharpen it towards the fact of being affected by greed. It's not going to alter your behavior right now. You can still behave as you are, but you are heading down a path. And in essence, you are corrupted by greed once.
But to clarify, Pellier hasn't said anything to anyone about what he found out, right?
No. So you're not aware of the stone doing it, but you do feel just over this time that your mind is shifting. So I'm making a note that you've been affected once by greed, and Cecil has as well. You, what would Cecil want right now? Probably to punch this guy, right?
Hell yeah.
Yeah.
I legitimately want to punch this guy super hard in the face.
Yeah. Right. So you've also been affected, not as much as Theo, but you have been affected by greed. Okay. So then the identification is done.
All right, so I offer the ring back.
Okay. And he'll give you the sword back. It'll take its time to give you back the sword. You see a moment of hesitation, but he does. He gives it back.
So as I am holding it back and putting the sword back in my sheath, the gemstone on your ring appears to be a shard of the entity known as greed. It is very likely that this great demon will be attracted to it, and I worry for your safety, my friend.
I've been using it for years, and it's not been attracted to me. Why would it be so attracted now?
Because Hags opened a portal to the netherworld to allow the demons to pass through to get to you.
Yes, there are demons out. Greed is out. So just be careful.
If you would like, 'cause this is a service that we are willing to offer. I do not wish to speak for everyone, but I will speak for myself. If you wish, and if you trust me, I will hold on to this ring for you until this demon is found and sent back, and then I will return the ring to you. We are interested in sending the demon back. This material wealth is not necessarily a thing that I desire myself. But I can understand that why a family heirloom would be valuable to you, and you would want to have it in your family for generations to come.
How much... Do I know how much our house is worth?
Your house or his house?
Our house.
Our house?
Like,
I can't remember the price.
Is a lien against, like, if we say you can have our property if we don't come back with this ring enough, or is the ring worth way more than the problem with
the problem with the ring is he is fully aware of the fact that the ring is what blesses him and helps him get everything else that he gets. It seems to boost him and help him out. So unless you can provide him with some other way of boosting his ambition, he's never going to fully give it up. You can feel secure about that. Now, as you talk with him about it, he is just going to kind of stop you all. Thank you for letting him know. I hope I was able to answer your questions. I am in the heart of the capital. I have my own house guard. If a greater demon wanted to come here and take this thing, it would be noticed. At that point, you're welcome to come and destroy the demon. But if anything, I'd be doing you a service by you can be pretty sure that the demon is going to come here rather than elsewhere.
That is an excellent point.
May I make a suggestion, Lawkeeper?
Yes.
If you have family elsewhere, send your children to live with that family for a short period of time.
I will take it under advisement.
If it is a thing that you treasure, these little ones that we saw as we walked up, they are, if you hold them in great value, then this would be a good thing to not lose them. And if you are willing to deal with the demon yourself, by all means, good luck and best of luck to you. But I would hate to come back and discover that the demon came and in your defense of your home, one or more of these small children fell to the demons.
It can't hurt to send them away. It can't hurt. Yeah.
All right. Thank you very much for your time, folks. But I must get back. Family is very important. And I owe my grandkids some time. Okay. Then he'll kind of stand you up and kind of shoo you out.
As we're walking away, I'm going to kind of grab Pellier by the arm and pull him towards me. And like, so that was just a shard, which means there are more, right?
That is my understanding. Is that not only are there more pieces of this greed, that there might be more pieces of these other demons.
And what was the stone? Do you remember what the stone actually was?
Yeah, it was extremely unique. It was All I could really describe it is you literally had molten greed that solidified.
I like to imagine it as looking kind of like onyx, but with a green sheen to it.
Yeah.
Ooh.
I think I after we like moved out of like we're like far away from where we were.
Yes, I believe we have done what we need to. Let us start walking.
You're on your way, right?
We got to go.
Right. Before anything, Cecil, I'm really pissed off. I do not like this person, and I'm gonna say that I now remember why I don't like talking to people. I'm gonna look at Obi. Plans change, Obi. I don't need your help with that. I'm gonna lean in. I'm gonna be like, what about a good old heist?
I mean, later. But I believe we had a deal. Like, you're not going to go changing the deal on me.
We never shook on it, first of all.
But that is fair enough. You are my friend. I will help you as we need to. I will point out that stealing from a lawkeeper a very high position, if you get caught, that is not a, oh, you stole. That is a, you stole. Like,
That's when we kill him.
Exactly. And I kind of want to. I'm going to start stretching.
I'm with you, Cecil.
He's
He's already obvious. He's already obviously corrupted. We can't leave it with him.
exactly.
We cannot blame the victim of this corrupting influence. He is
Right,
not,
we need to save him.
We can save him. That does not involve killing him, I don't think.
Okay. People are confusing.
Listen,
Is that something you guys would like to plan and do now?
No, there is no time.
Lawkeeper?
There is not time.
Okay.
The sun is gone. You agreed to buy some things and to talk to some people, and now we are going. We can come back to this, but I have some personal stakes in this, and we are going.
Okay. All right. So, as a reminder, you're on the top of the mountain. Oakwell is up on the top of the mountain, and Nejureta, the ruin city, is on the western coast of the island of Irmios. Access down the mountain is either through the winding path around, or base jumping, as you did before, as most of you did before. Who's up for a base jump, and who's going to go and walk around the mountain?
I am going to the winged wyvern because we are in a rush. Maybe Belgatras will still be there with his wingsuits.
I'll go that direction, but I'll let everyone know that I'm not going to actually get near the establishment. I'll just watch for your takeoff, and I'll take off too, because I never actually paid him. I just took the glider.
Yep.
I have my horse, so I will be taking the long way down. I have done the jump, and I have experienced it one time. I do not need to experience it again.
One of these days, we'll figure out a way to get your horse into one of those suits.
I'm already taking the long way. So.
Okay. All right. So you'll catch up. You'll meet one another out on the western side of the mountain. Now, the city of Nejureta, the port city that was there, it was very prosperous until absolutely destroyed. It has been a very long time. In fact, as a reminder, it was destroyed beyond recognition in 203 AGD, after the Great Divide, by the enemies of Irmios. It was wiped out to such a degree that there's not even a road that leads towards there anymore. It is overgrown completely. There is a river that you could take a ride down towards, or you can walk across the land.
Taking a boat, it is faster.
Okay.
Taking a boat.
So, going to get yourself a boat. Near the docks, there are boats that will lead up and down the river, but none are going in that direction. None that are purchasable to be driven for you. You can, however, rent a boat yourself for 5 gold per 10-day upfront.
Obsidian.
Or
he
you could
says
still.
He says that we could earn a substantial amount of money by helping your friend, your associate.
He said 1,250 gold.
Well, then this seems like an investment. Is wise?
I'm thinking that if we save this guy, we could actually use his expertise coming back.
Well, we do not know what his problem is.
Whatever problem it is, we'll save him, bring him back, and steal something that we need.
The implication that you would need someone else to help besides me, I am somewhat offended.
Obi, if you get caught and you get in trouble, then I'm gonna feel bad, and I'm gonna feel sad. If there's nobody that owes us,
so you want
life,
the patsy? You want the fall guy?
That's the entire. All he has to do, we save him, whatever trouble he has. We don't turn him in, so he gets to have. So that's like he owes us twice. If you think about it, if we don't turn him in.
As a reminder, so don't drink anything and don't trust anyone starting now. But sure, yeah, I'm sure that will go gangbusters.
Fine, we'll find a way.
So, how many 10 days are you going to preemptively pay for?
Oh, just the one.
Just one 10-day. Okay. All right.
We'll
so
be back in no time. I promise.
Right. They'll take your names, your identities, any information they can to trace it back to you, so that your smithy will be, your home will be in trouble if you don't.
Oh, this is an excellent point, everyone. They are taking our names now. So let's tell them all of our names.
Pele de Winter, care of the smithy, back where you know where we are.
All right, that's enough. Just one name is enough. You get your boat.
Thank you, Pele.
Are any of you?
You are so
trained?
kind to do that.
Is there? How far is Nezurita? Traveling down. I'll ask the person who's loading us the boat. If we take this boat and we will travel down the river to the ruins of Nezurita, how long will it take?
With the flow of the river at this time and the tides, you're looking at it'll take you a day and a half to get down to Nezurita. It's fairly brisk moving river going down the mountain. Coming back up, it's going to be a nightmare rowing yourself up the river.
We don't need to row. We know magic.
10 days. That's fine. Yes.
Okay. All right. So 5 gold. You get the boat for 10 days. He'll mark down your name.
I don't have any money. Pellier, since you were kind enough to give them your name, perhaps you will pay them as well.
This is it. Absolutely. This is what I am doing.
All right. So, with that, our heroes will begin the journey sailing westwards towards the ruins of Nezurita, where they are expecting to find a boat and a crew with some significance to a fire drake or red dragon of some sort. I don't know, are any of you trained in boats right now?
Not at all. I am going on a prayer here.
I wouldn't be trained mechanically, but I would know the basics from just being taught.
So going downhill, effectively, towards the ocean, it's a lot easier. You pretty much just have to point it in the right direction, and it'll keep going. There'll be times where it veers off, you get very close to hitting the edge, but you pull yourself back and will make your way towards the ruins of Nezurita. It is at the ruins of Nezurita that we will rejoin the adventure next week. So thank you very much, everyone, for playing today. Thank you, everyone, for enjoying us playing. Now, before we go, we liked it last week. So, Carl, end us off with what you liked.
So I am Carl. I play Pilier in this game, and on Sunday I play Lefcadio, the Tabaxi. We start back up our Half-Rate Heroes game at 6 p.m. Eastern, and looking forward to that with our new DM Jazzy Hands. But tonight I really enjoyed the backstory, or the fiction, the world building that was done by Matthew for his character. I thought that was a pretty neat twist. The cliffhanger from last week, where we saw Obsidian on the wanted posters, only to learn that he wasn't in fact wanted at all, or at least be under that impression at the moment. So that is something that I really enjoyed. And I will throw it to Solomon.
Hey, I'm Solomon, and I don't play in any other streams, but I've been watching a lot of Hunter x Hunter. It's a good anime, so if you want to watch, or Hunter x Hunter, depending on which side of the coin you are. But yeah, that's what I'm doing. That's all I've been doing, actually, and sleeping and working. But I think what I really liked was just thinking of Theo, like just trying to like look for stuff, you know, in the library, and just Cecil just chilling there, like, I don't want to be here, you know. I thought that was cool. I like the little interactions that Cecil and Theo have today. And I will also throw it to the Professor Doctor.
I'm the Professor Doctor. That's me.
Yes,
Oh my
you
gosh.
are.
Well, you totally took mine. I was gonna say the same thing about the thing that I like the most. I like the little details that you put in, like balancing his pencil on his lips. It's really the little casual things that make a story real to me. So definitely, but that applies also to Obi wearing the chef's apron and the hat. Just a nice little detail that makes the story all the more rich for having it. So, loving stuff like that. On Sundays, I play with Carl, the Half-Rate Heroes game, so you can see me there for that also. And on Fridays, you can catch me over on the Greyhawk channel at 5 p.m. Eastern, playing with NPC Bree and all of them. So, there's that. And I will pass it over to Matthew.
My name is Matthew. I play Obi with a questionable accent. This is the one stream that I do. I'm really looking forward to our new player next week. I mean, that's the plug I'm going to have. Amber is a great DM. She's a great player. We are really lucky to have her, and really looking forward to having her next week. The thing I really love this week, man, just like... So it was alluded to, kind of outside of game, we've talked to the DM about which sins pull on us the most. And so the idea that, like, oh boy, here's greed, and then rolling to see what happens, and that's just so exciting to me, because it lets, you know, our characters have different pulls and different impulses, and so was it a bad roll, or are Theo and Cecil just naturally greedy people? Who knows? I'm so excited to see, frankly, what happens when we get 2 or 3 or 4 or 5 tick marks down the progression chain. What that's going to do. So that's just stuff like that. Just is thrilling. I love it. And with that, back to the DM.
All right. Yeah, and so I'm Dale. I'm the DM. So you can. I would like to plug just all the things that this wonderful channel does. You can follow Crituitous RP here. You can subscribe to us on Twitch, I should say. You can follow us and subscribe to us on Twitch if you're lucky enough to be able to do such a thing. We appreciate every single one. It helps to keep things running here. You can check out our rebroadcast, which we do of this game on Fridays, and you can watch our Half-Rate Heroes stream on Sundays, and then watch the rebroadcast on Mondays. I'm looking forward to watching. I've just finished doing the DMing for the Half-Rate Heroes. I'm looking forward to watching the Half-Rate Heroes as a viewer, which I will be doing as often as I can. When I'm not here, you'll find me. I actually am a professional dungeon master, so you can play with me if you would like. There are details about that in links and sections. But what I particularly enjoyed about today's session is I like when things start clicking and coming together. When we're creating an entire new world here, and we're, as a collective group, we're coming up with ideas and we're building on things, and it was ideas that I got from Casey that sparked the concept of these entities that ascend and descend, splitting and kind of breaking off. And so it was Casey that kind of sparked that line of thought, and now it's Casey's character that's having to deal with the consequences of that right now.
Yay!
Because of greed. And so I like it when things that we discuss, that we plan in the past, start clicking together, and today kind of began that process of putting together and building all of the things that we were leading towards when we first created the lore about this world. And I'm glad it worked out that it is tied towards the characters more than the world itself. You very quickly have begun to be influenced by greed. I was fully expecting you to have to wait a while and encounter greed much later, but no, very early on, there we go. So I enjoy.
She wants what she wants and has to go get it, whether it's talking to people or
strong, independent lady. Yep.
All right, but yeah. So thank you very much, guys, for watching us this week. Check us out on all of our things. We also have a Discord server that you can check into and have some fun just chatting with us and other players, other people who enjoy D&D. And other tabletop RPGs. There's a lot of discussions about homebrew going on right now. A lot of people going over and creating their own subclasses. So join us and chat with us. Have some fun. And we'll see you next time. Bye.
Good night, everyone. And if you want more D&D, it looks like Scraticus started not too long ago, so we're going to give him support with a raid. And everyone else, have a good night.